Okay, here we go with a quick guide on how to control the amber constructs. Reshape Life incoming soon. There it is. What I'll do first is just give a quick rundown on what each of the buttons do, just in case you're not 100% sure. Okay, now button number 1, which is on your number 1 keybind, if you're using default keybinds, is called Amber Strike. Now this is the one that you press to interrupt the Amber Monstrosity's Amber Explosion. The second one you get on button number 2 is called Struggle for Control, and that's the one that you press to interrupt your own explosion. Button number 3 is called Consume Amber. Now that's the one that you use to slurp up all that delicious amber on the floor and it regenerates your willpower. And button number 4 is called Break Free. Now that won't be available to you until you are at 20% or less health, but once that happens you can press that button to break free of the vehicle. So moving further into the fight here, the first thing to take note of is the cooldown of Amber Monstrosity's Amber Explosion that is shown on DBM there. Now you want to make sure that your Amber Strike is not on cooldown when that is about to come up. Although you do not want to be too conservative with spamming Amber Strike, as you want to be stacking the debuff up on the ad as high as possible. The second thing you're doing here is interrupting your own Amber Explosion with Struggle for Control button number 2. Now, things to note here, I don't track this with the DBM bar because I find that the less DBM bars you have the better generally, and I just prefer using the big blue warning in the middle of the screen there, and also your own cast bar will start going once you start casting it. Now, concerning your willpower and your Consume Amber ability, if we're doing the normal method of killing the boss, whereby the DPS switches to your construct, gets you to 20%, and then you hitting your break free button to get out, you won't need to worry about keeping your willpower high. In fact, it's better to keep it low, because consuming the amber pools will increase your hit points by 5%, thereby making it more difficult to get you out. The exception to this is if you're the only construct up at that time and you're below 20%, you need to wait until another Reshape Life goes off in order to make sure that there's always a construct up to interrupt the Amber Explosion on the Amber Monstrosity. At this point you'll probably find you have to start consuming amber pools just so your willpower doesn't run out. Now if we're using the second method of killing the boss, which is being shown in the video there, whereby the first DPS that gets constructed stays in the construct for the rest of the fight, your willpower will become a lot more important. I like to keep it around 50%. You don't really want it to go in below 25%. This is because you don't want to be put in a situation where the Amber Monstrosity's Amber Explosion is about to come off cooldown and you're on low willpower and you have to run off a consumer pool to keep your willpower up, and then the explosion goes off and kills a raid. So by having your willpower high, around half like I say, gives you a nice margin of error. So once the Amber Monstrosity is dead, we move into phase 3. Now at this point, if you are a construct, you will stay as a construct for the rest of the fight. So you need to be aware that your willpower doesn't run out by consuming amber pools as normal. You still have to interrupt your own Amber Explosion, but there is no enemy Amber Explosion to worry about now, so you can freely spam your Amber Strike as much as possible to get the debuff stacks as high as possible on the boss. So that's it, thanks for watching and I'll see you in game.